east side. They were, I forgot their names. I think it was Marcus and Darrell. So, yeah. So I went on there. I called in and I was just telling them like, Real Loud is really about seeing an artist that has potential, that has talent, and getting them on a show, but actually going the extra mile, and to get their voice heard and to keep on top of them, like, so they can keep on top of their music and their poetry and whatnot. So it's like, we're not just gonna be like, okay, do an interview and that's it. It's like, no, we want you as an artist to keep pushing, and we want to inspire you and to keep on inspiring others, because we can see that you have inspired us by your poetry. And it's like it's dark and sometimes, but it's real and it's loud and it's very sexy and hot, and that's what we love and we want on our show, and that's what you have all of it.
Right. What's funny is
I really do appreciate that. And you'll find, like I said, I don't really stick to any one particular genre. You're going to find, like, every human emotion, you'll probably find it at some point in my poems. I do like the dark stuff.
You can see that.
Wow.
Yeah, but we love it though. It's cool. You don't want to put yourself in a box and just say, okay, I'm only this, and then it's like, but what if I want to, like, go and do that? It's like, then if you do it,
yeah, exactly. I only got one life to live. I'm gonna live it, being anything I want to be at any second that I want to be it, because I only got one life.
That's right, man. That's right.
One thing that you guys might not know about me, I know Joey knows, but you, Kathryn, like, I'm also a rapper too. I'm not just a DJ.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and I'm also into fashion too. But talking about the music, with me, it's like I'm a rapper out of New York, but I don't just have that New York sound. I like the the music that's going on, the hip hop in Chicago. It's called drill music, Chirac, and Atlanta music, and the West Coast. It's like I do it all. I don't just say, okay, I'm a New York rapper. I sound like I'm from the 90s, even though I'm a 90s baby. No, I'm like everything, so I don't put myself
Exactly. Don't put a cap on greatness. You keep going.
Yeah,
don't stick to one genre.
Yeah. And that's what we're about, It's like we like that you're a whole bunch of different things. And so definitely, like, you're getting up there and you're up and coming poet. So what advice would you give someone in regards to your poetry and your art?
Well, the best advice that I could give you is don't do it for the money. For one, you're gonna stay broke as an artist. At the beginning, you're gonna stay broke. Don't do it for the money. Just be sincere in what you're putting out there. Be honest with it. That's the best policy that you can have. And then not only that is don't try to make something for everyone. Just if you can't feel it, nobody else is going to feel it either. So try to be the voice that's not being echoed or repeated and regurgitated. Be unique and say exactly what you mean and exactly how you feel it, because there's somebody else out there feeling the same thing who, when they are exposed to your work, they're going to be inspired, and you just never know. You never know, but just be genuine and true to yourself. Don't do it for the money. Don't do it for society. Be you.
Word. I like that. Yeah, a lot of people think that just because they're artists, they do music or poetry or whatever, they feel like, oh, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna get all this money and I'm gonna be famous. It's like, if you keep thinking
exactly,
like that, you're never
just let it happen.
Yeah,
just let it happen natural.
And it's like, if you just stick to the music and and stick to the poetry and the art, you're gonna, if you're passionate about it, you're gonna become successful in it, and the money will come. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta be patient.
It will
and
come.
You gotta,
but don't try to like. Don't. I mean, like, the money will come, but don't set that as your first goal. Your first goal should be being honest and being genuine and being sincere and putting it out there. And then let them come to you for who you are, not for who you're trying to be, because then you're not helping the world in your art at all, are you? You're just being what the media or whoever you're working for, what they want you to be. That's all you'll ever be. But if you be yourself and you be sincere, the right people will start following you, and eventually you will make it.
I mean, what I love is after hearing you guys just rap about that a little bit, again, we love lyrics, and we played Co-Orgasmic by Kathryn Ramirez. We played Rock Bottom, and if you look at her chorus, she has her music on poetrysoup.com. If you look at her lyrics of Rock Bottom, you're going to see that section where she raps, and it says exactly what they just were talking about. Look at y'all, lost in this insanity, living for your vanity. What happened to your humanity? It is true, people. Okay, keep it real, keep it loud, but always keep your humanity. Forget about reaching out for the things that are superficial. The stuff, like we said, on Twitter, we follow a lot of people. We really are loyal. You follow us, we'll follow you. There's a lot of robots out there in Twitter. There are a lot of people that are,
self-absorbed.
Yeah, a little self-absorbed. It's like Real Loud Radio exists for. We have a mission statement out there on the Twitter site, on the Bun and Roach site, and we make it very clear. We are real, loud people. Real people just like you, trying to make a living, having only one life to live, so we're going to live it the best way we know how, real and loud. And if you have an artist that you have in mind that you want to give a shout-out to, that you want to recommend to the show, please go ahead and do it. We're at realloudradio@gmail.com is the email. Definitely send us a tweet. We're at Real Loud Radio. So you can check out Kathryn Ramirez and the many other beautiful Real Loud artists that we've had the pleasure and the honor of having on the show. But look at y'all, lost in this insanity. I mean, you say it right there clearly in Rock Bottom about what you feel people are maybe looking at too much, and that is vanity.
It's exactly this whole society is shaped and formed around vanity. It's just really sad that when you can look on the news and you're hearing more about, like, say, Kim Kardashian and all of them, you're hearing more about their little bitter drama petty things than you are about real hard stuff. Like, we have veterans standing on street corners holding up signs asking for money after they went and they fought for our nation and they came back bruised and scarred, not only emotionally but physically as well, and they're being completely overlooked. Nobody's calling attention to the real issues of today, to the real issues of our society and how we are collapsing as humanity. We're putting more vanity into this society, but we're not really capturing the emotion. We're not validating the feelings or the struggles that are going on. And I feel that right there is why we're seeing so much negative in the world. We're not putting enough in.
Definitely not. And that's...
I really like that you said that because, I do feel like a lot of people are brainwashed and they watch TV and they watch these shows and they listen to this music that, it's like people start, caring more about, them than themselves. It's like you care more about Kim Kardashian's life than your own life.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Kanye and Kim have some feud going on. Let me focus on this, but the whole time you're ignoring the fact that maybe your girlfriend hasn't been feeling like you love her enough, or your boyfriend doesn't feel like you just ignore, you neglect your honest to God issues that you need to be focusing on just to be entertained by their petty scripted drama. And I think that's the big thing right now. We're sending all the wrong messages to our kids for teaching them that to be famous is better to be great. And you can be great and be little. You can be having a more positive impact when you only speak to 5 people than you can if you have 5 million people listening to you, if you're one of those people putting out the wrong messages.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's all about, Real Loud Radio, it's not about the money. It's not about, having a bigger bank account. It's about making a bigger impact in the world. So it's like
exactly. Like for me, like I don't have. If you go to my Poetry Soup and you read and you look, I don't have too many views in the way of competition standing next to some of the famous poets. But I feel content because as long as I might have like 64 views on something, 64 views to me is a lot if every single person understood the message that I was trying to put out. And I feel that my message left them with something, that they got something from it.
Yep, we definitely got something from it, Kathryn, for sure. You know, and it was a very positive message, and that's why we're really happy that you're here. You know, so yeah, the following, like, you know, the following of 13, you know, versus what we see out there, 31,000, and we have to ask, really? Okay, that's great.
I have my own personal private protest to show people that, like, you can be genuine and you can have, like, a great intention, but you're going to be overlooked if sanity takes a higher pedestal in our society. Not saying that I'm, like, a person to follow. Some people's not going to like my stuff, and I understand that. And, you know, if you don't like it, I encourage you to go grab your paper or your pencil and you write why you don't like it. And then I'll respect you more because you put down your feelings.
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
like,
you know, we live in a society where there is freedom of speech, and our rights shouldn't be violated. And I like how you said you're privately protesting. What are your thoughts and views on the protesting that's going on in Missouri, in Ferguson, with the whole Mike Brown case?
Man, I think, that's a tough one. But I'm gonna be entirely honest. I think that, yes, this has been ignored for so long. It has. Like, there's been so many people just pretending that everything in our society is perfect and everybody's an equal, but you know what? We're not equals. We're not. And as long as we, as humans, categorize ourselves on every form that we fill out by what our ethnic group is, we're never going to be treated as equals. Those kind of forms need to be gone. And our police, I really do feel that the majority of our police have great intentions. They really do. But they are, there's just no avoiding it. They are being very, very racist and discriminative on the darker shades of people. For me, I personally, if you want to put me in a category, I would be Native American, Irish, and something else. But I don't believe in the thing called race. I don't. I'm a human. So
go ahead. There you go.
That's all I am. I'm a human. I'm not the same shade of skin color as my own mother. I'm not the same shade of skin color as my sister. That's stupid. Why are you going to categorize humans? We're all humans. We're the same. It doesn't matter.
Wow, that's love right there.
And these whole the protesting part of it. This is the only thing that confuses me because I'm from Kentucky, so we just go out in the street when we want to protest, and nobody says anything. But here it's different. You guys have to have, like, permits and things like that. I'm sorry, but I don't think that that's legal. I don't understand how that's constitutional. If we are protected by the Constitution for the right for peaceful protest, why do we need a permit for it?
I hear you on that. That's right. We already got the permit. We already were permitted a while back.
Yeah, the permit's right there. It's got, like, all of our nation's founding father signature right there on it. I don't understand how they can make us have a permit. I do think that any protest that needs to be done peacefully. And as long as you have these people that want to go out and use that as an advantage to riot buildings and harm innocent people, then, you know, you're kind of proving their point for them. But when you go there and you stand there and you do not back down, no matter how many tanks they bring in, no matter how much tear gas they throw, we stand next to each other, Asian, white, black, Chinese, Filipino, whatever they want to label us as. We stand side by side in the street and show them we're not going to budge. That's the day that we're going to get somewhere. But it has to be done peacefully, not violent.
Kathryn, man, that was real shit right there. Plain and simple. And on the fact of standing tall, you have a poem that I think you were going to read called Pitch Black Sun.
Oh, yeah.
If you could please, before you read that, just let us know a little bit about what it is, because there you're standing tall.
Well,
but what is Pitch Black Sun? How did it come out to be?
Pitch Black Sun, it came from a mix of, like, just normal, everyday human emotions, but when you feel down about yourself, and also reading the works of Edgar Allan Poe, and I decided to kind of, like, show my love towards him, like sometimes I can relate to it doesn't have to be Edgar Allan Poe, but specifically in this piece it is. But I can relate to another poet that it just shows the impact and the way that you can read somebody's poem and not feel alone anymore. That's the power that is in poetry. And people ignore that. And that's basically what Pitch Black Sun is Edgar Allan Poe. Edgar Allan Poe